to see how to attach the body parts together. Before getting to attach the torso to the head portion, try to attach the hand first. Okay, so try to position the hands using a bell pin. So I am taking bell pins. So I have also provided you bell pins in the kit. So you can make use of these bell pins to position the hands first. So try to position the hands here. Wherever you want, you can position your hands. So say for example I am attaching my hands here at this part, and you have to make sure that you are going to attach the next hand also exactly perpendicular to the first one, and then you have to attach it like this. Okay, so it must be parallel to each other, and you have to position it in the right row. Okay, so like this. Done. So I have positioned my hands, and I feel like this is the right positioning. So this is the front of the bodies where we have got the front loop here. Now I take this leftover thread into the tapestry needle and then start sewing it one row after the other, one stitch after the other. I start sewing it. So what you do is you take one stitch from the body's part and then take one stitch from the arms part. Like you have to go through one stitch from the body's part and one stitch from the arms part like this, and then you have to make loops. So the loop formations must be very very tight and firm. Okay, don't make it very loose, it will be looking very awkward. So it must feel like as if you have not done anything to attach it, as if it is just fixed with a glue. So there must not be any kind of lumps or any loops hanging over here and there. So try to form loops. So every time you make the stitch, you have to go through one stitch at least one time, and while you're going through the stitch, you have your way of going must always be one stitch from the torso you have to take and one stitch from the arms you have to take. That is how we attach it. Okay, so one stitch from the torso, one stitch from the arms. And I am making sure that my stitches are very very tight and firm like this. So that is my last stitch. I go through the last stitch and then I position it, right? So the first hand is position. So what do we do with this leftover thread is you just have to pull it inside and go through 2 to 3 stitches in the direction of the stitch itself and try to cut it off. And while you're going through the stitches, while you're just trying to disconnect the leftover thread, don't pull the thread too tight because it will form a dent at that position wherever you're forming the loop. Okay, so that is how we have to form it, and I have attached this hand. Now we try to attach the next hand. So positioning of this hand must be exactly at this point. this hands, this arms, fasten off tail, and try to sew, like take one part from the torso, one stitch from the torso, and then take one stitch from the arms and pull it, form loops one after the other. So take one stitch from the stitch from torso, one stitch from the arms. So while you're doing this, try not to include the fiber filling into the stitches because it will affect your finishing. Okay. Okay, so the second arm is also attached. That is the final finishing part of the arms, and I try to push it inside and pull it out somewhere randomly on the back side of the torso. See, while doing this process, try to make it a little neat so that you don't include the fiber filling and you don't try to pull out any threads here and there. Now finishing of the arms is also done. You can just cut this thing off. So I have attached the arms to the body's part. Now what we do is we try to attach the head to the torso. So before getting to attach the head to the torso portion, we will try to make the frills if possible, or if you don't want to make the frills, if you want to make the frills only at the last point, you can just keep it as such. Okay, so now I am going to attach the head to the body's part like this. Okay, so just try to position the head. So while positioning the head, it might be a little difficult for you to hold on to the head for a very long time, and moreover it is a little easy for us because we have not sewn any eyes or we have not sewn any ears to the thing. So we need not position it to keep it in a right alignment so that the ears and the ears comes in the front and the positioning of the ears are perfectly done and the hands are perfectly aligned with each other. So here since it is just a round bodies, we just going to attach it, and we can try to attach it anywhere from any point of the round. Okay, so before that we just have to finish this off, right? So this one, is hanging somewhere in between. So what you do is you just try to do the finishing process same, but do not cut off the yarn. So do the same finishing process so that the stitches are equally and symmetrically placed. Now, so we have got 18 stitches here and 18 stitches here. Now we just go and position the head and try to take one stitch from the head, that is one V space from the head and one V space from the bottom of the, from the torso portion. So simultaneously you have to take one stitch from top and one stitch from the torso and form loops as we did for the arms. Okay, try to form loops one stitch after the other and try attaching the head to the torso. So while doing this, for the first 3 stitches or first 5 stitches, it will be a little difficult for you because the head will be shaking. So before so try to hold on to the head a little tight and firm so that it does not move this side and that side. So you have got 18 stitches here on the head and 18 stitches here on the torso also. So each and every V space you have got in that particular row you must have gone through each and every stitch at least for one time. Okay, so you can go through one stitch for 2 times also, but minimum you have to go through it at least one time. Make sure you are going through forming one loop at least one loop through one stitch. See, the head has almost been positioned. Now what I do is I try to attach the body's part to the torso and finish it off. One stitch from the bodies and one stitch from the head. Likewise throughout you have to go first you take the V space of head and then you take the V space of the torso. See? So in my last stitch I try to attach the head and the torso a little bit more firm by going through the same stitch for 2 to 3 times so that it does not come out. So now we have attached the bodies and the head together. See? So now what we do is we try to fasten off this. Okay, so we've got the bodies and the thing attached. Now we try to sew the ears portion to the head. So we have to position it right. First of all, this ears is not going to be attached as such, so we have to fold it in half like this. The bottom part alone we have to fold it in half and then sew it together, and then only we are going to attach it. Okay, so now what you do is you just take the ear portion and then put it inside a tapestry needle. Now what we do is we try to fold this into exactly half thing, and then we try to sew it together like this. Just a small loop attaching the 2 stitches of the which is in the front. So that's all. So the shape has changed into a bunny ear. Now what I do is I try to position this here at this portion, and if you want to position it with a bell pin, you can surely do that, so that it does not go out of that particular position. Now what I do is again I take one more ear, because I cannot leave it with one ear. So I take the another ear, and I put this also inside the tapestry needle, and then now we have to join these both together. So take one stitch from here and one stitch from the other part, and then sew it together. Make one more loop and then join, so that it turns out into a bunny ear like this. Now we have to go so this is position. Now we have to take this ear and try to attach it at the correct point like this. So look at whether it is right or wrong and then attach it. And so it has been positioned properly. Okay, so I take one bell pin from here and I try to attach it on the back of the bunny ear. Right? So it's positioned now. I feel this is right, or if you feel like you have to bring it even more closer, you can do that also. I'm going to attach the ear portion now. So the bunny ears are going to be attached to the thing. So we have to take one loop from the ears and one loop from the torso and try to form loops. So while forming loops, try to form it in a way so that you don't widen the area of the bunny's ears. Okay, so try to attach it exactly at that point where you have positioned it. So take one loop from the ears and one loop from the head. Again, one loop this ear is attached. Now what we do is we try to fasten off this one by going through 2 to 3 stitches randomly, and then we cut this thing off. It's almost secure. So now we move and go and attach the second ear. See, for second ear also try to hold on to the position, because if it changes place, like attaching first ears also would have been easier, but when you attach the second ears, you have to position it exactly at the point where you have done the bell pin marking. Even if it goes slightly away this side or that side, the entire face of the bunny itself will change off. So I take this into a thread now. Now we go and take one loop from ears and one loop from the head and form loops. So we have attached the ears of the bunny exactly in the position which we did. Now we have to fasten off this thread by securing it at least by going through 2 to 3 stitches. Okay, so we can just fasten this off. Yeah, so that is how we have done it. So this is the bunny's full body parts being attached. Now we have to sew the eyes for this bunny, and we have to attach the frills for it. Okay. So now we are going to take the black color thread to sew the eyes of it. So before getting to sew the eyes, I have taken a small strand of the black color, and now we take the first we have to position the eyes rightly. Okay, so always try to find out the center point for the nose. Okay, so I feel like this is the center point. So my eyes are going to be very lower, like this. Okay, so we are going to start from this row. So from the top I'm going to 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13 14 15 16. So my eyes are going to be positioned between 16th row and 17th row. So now what you do is you take a bell pin, start it from this point, and my eyes are going to be extended till 1 2 3 4 5 with 5 stitches in between. I'm going to do eyes like this. So my eyes are going to be in U shape. So what I do is I take one more thread and one more bell pin, and I try to attach that also, so that I get a U-shaped eye. Okay. So the same thing needs to be done on the other side of the head also. So here, moving on from here to here, the same thing must be done here also. Okay, so this is where the row is. So I have to go and attach my eyes exactly at this point here. Okay, so my starting point of the left eye must be here, like this, and then leave 1 2 3 4 5 stitches in between and go and pierce it in between the next one. So that is how it is going to be positioned, and in between I have to make a U shape. So I am going and attaching it right here at this point, and here at this point. Okay, so this is how my eyes are going to be for my bunny. Now what we do is we try to take this thread which I have taken into the tapestry needle. If you can take a sewing needle also, it is good. Now what you do is you insert this tapestry needle somewhere from randomly outside and take it out at this point. So I am going to take it exactly at that point where I have done attach my bell pin. So I can take this bell pin out. Now pull it so that you have a small strand left out here. Now we have to shape it in U like this. Okay, so shape it in U like this and try to pierce it through this point again. If you are not able to do the piercing point, you try to lift the bell pin a little bit, and then so the eyes are going to be so the shape of the eye is going to be looking something like this. Okay, so U shape like this, and then we have got eyelashes which is hanging down from here. So this is how the eyes are going to look like, and middle we will have a small nose portion for the doll. So this is how the eyes are going to look like. So like to make such an eye only, we are going to make in this, make in this such a way only we are going to use the bell pins for that. Okay, so now to make a U shape, what I do is I try to pierce it through this one and take it out at the lower part, so that my one eyelashes gets attached at this point where I have got the hook. So do it very carefully at this point alone, because it might be a little difficult for you. Now I just have to make the eyelashes here and bring it out at this position to make one more eyelash. Again we have to go somewhere here and then bring it out at the third position, which is here. So we have to bring this at this point. Okay. Now I take this off and I try to attach this thread and then bring it out at this point. Now we have to make the other eye simultaneously. So now we are going to see how to attach the other part. So we have to end it here and take it from this point. So now to have a clear view, you can just lift the bell pin and then bring it out exactly at the same point where we are. So that is one side of the eye. Okay, so one side of the eye is done now. Now we have to do the U shape, position it and pierce it exactly at this point. So pierce it here and bring it out somewhere at this point, so that we do the same eyelashes, 4 eyelashes thing again. So we can take this out and also this out. So try to make 4 eyelashes exactly the same way where we did this one. And then the last one. So that's all. So we can just cut this thing off, right, bringing it out at this part. This point where we inserted the black color thread. Done with the eyes. So now the eyes is done, so we have to go for the nose portion. So you can attach the nose in any color you want. You can make it in pink color, a white color, or anything you like. Okay. Now you have to position the nose exactly between the eyes. Right? going to be my color for the nose. So it is almost white. So I take this color and we sew this in between the eyes. See, if you want to fix the eyes like this, looking like a bunny, if you want to make it look like a bunny, and if you want to attach it like this, no? So if you want to make it this way, that also you can make. It will be looking good. So for that, I just pierce it at this point, middle point of the nose, and then we take it out like this. Okay. Now you can just make a small line like this by piercing it exactly at the middle portion and then hanging it out. So that becomes your nose. So bunny nose usually is like this one. So you have a now we just knot it down and then we have to cut this out. And we push this inside. Okay, so this is how it looks like after finishing the eyes of the bunny and the nose of it. Now we go and attach the frills portion. Okay. So now for the frills portion, we are going to take a net cloth like this. I purchased it somewhere nearby in a local shop. So I am going to take this one and we are going to cut it off having a 4 to 5 inches gap. Okay, so like we are going to take a 4 to 5 So before that, I just want to measure how much my frills height should be. So I feel like it's enough for me if I have a 2 inch or a 3 inch height of frill. So let me have it for 2 or 2.5. That is fine. So for 2.5 you have to take 5 inches and for 2 you have to take 4 inches. So we are going to fold it in half and then we are going to attach it. So this is where my eye comes. Now I can just cut this off. So try cutting it off all along. After cutting it with a 5 inch bit, we are going to fold it and cut it into strips. Okay, so cut it as strips now. So for cutting it as strips, first fold it in half and then cut it and then fold it again into half. Fold this into half and then cut it off, cut it. So small strips are more than sufficient. Now what I do is I take one strip and I try to twist it around like this, fold it in half, and now with the help of my hook I just insert the hook somewhere randomly at one point of the front loop here, and I fetch this net cloth, fetch it, and then bring it out of this front loop. And after bringing it out for a little, like this much, you just have to insert these two strips through the loop and you tighten the loop. So that is how we attach it to the front loop of the thing. So likewise, each and every loop is going to get one strip each, and that is how, like, together fully we are going to attach the thing. I'll show it once again. So what you do is you just have to pull the strip, fold it in half and twist it in between so that it becomes thin like this. Okay, now you go take the front loop like this and then fetch the net cloth, bring it out like this, and through this one, so you have to form a small loop like this, and then you have to push these two open ends through the loop. And then you have to tighten this. So likewise throughout you have to attach the frill portion. Each and every loop is going to get one strip.